हं. माहीत झालंय.
So, good evening, everyone. I hope my voice is audible and screen are visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So, today we are going to discuss the JavaScript. So, before write anything, we need to discuss some theoretical concepts. Okay. So, what is the JavaScript? The JavaScript is a programming language that is used for web development. Around 65% web developments developers are use JavaScript to develop web applications. If you want to become a web developer, then you must learn JavaScript. The JavaScript is a popular and it's known as JS. So if mention JS anywhere, please note that we would be referring to a JavaScript. Okay. To learn JavaScript, we need to understand some basic concept first. That means what are the things we can develop using JavaScript? We can develop both front end and back end development using JavaScript. That means front end JavaScript is used for making the user interface of a web page dynamic, making it responsive to event like the movement of the mouse click on the certain HTML element, button click, using which we can improve the user experience. It is also possible that we can write a backend, that's a server side code using JavaScript, that you can use a JavaScript to write REST APIs, backend code for interacting with the databases. For that reason, we required one platform. That platform is a Node.js to run a JavaScript. But currently here we are discuss only the front end purpose. It is also possible that we can develop mobile application using JavaScript. There are one most famous framework is there, that's a React Native, Ionic, and using that framework, it is a possible to create mobile application using JavaScript. It is also possible we can develop desktop application using a JavaScript, using various frameworks. You can learn data structure using JavaScript. You can develop games using JavaScript. So the JavaScript is a programming language that is used for a web development, and it's run on a browser. So when we write a JavaScript, we doesn't need a compile it. Why it's we not required to compile? Look here, we are mostly use a browsers to check our HTML output, right? And every browser have their own JavaScript engine. So that browser are understand the JavaScript very well, and it is a execute a JavaScript implicitly. So that's why we doesn't require to compile and interpret that JavaScript. So how we can write a JavaScript and what the things are there? Look here, like normal general purpose programming language, JavaScript also have a variables, data types, tokens, control statements, that's the loops, decision making statement, ifs, that all things we have within a JavaScript, and we are going to learn that things. But before that, how we can integrate that JavaScript with our HTML? Look here, there are two ways to integrate JavaScript with our HTML. The first way I'm going to show you here, within a body tag. That means before close a body tag. Before close a body tag, I will write a JavaScript here. I will write that JavaScript using a script tag. That tag name is a script. And I'm not use that code. I can use something different. The close script. Okay. So within that opening and closing script tag, we can write our script. That's I just write alert वेबसाईट लोड झाली आहे. ओके. आणि कॉन्सोलवर मी माझी प्रिंट करतो की की वेबसाईट लोड झाली आहे. Okay. Look here. To use a JavaScript with a web, there are two ways. The first way is what? Before closing body tag, you can write a script tag, and within a script tag, you can write a JavaScript. That's a JavaScript. The meaning of first that alert, it's a box. That means it's like pop-up window. It show you the pop-up window with some message, and after that, second statement is a log, and that log are display on console when your website are execute on a browser. So let's execute. Look here, it's a pop-up window, that's a alert box, it's a website load झाली आहे. ओके. आणि जर तुम्ही राईट क्लिक केलं, इन्स्पेक्ट केलं, इन्स्पेक्ट मध्ये कॉन्सोल असेल. हे डेव्हलपर टूल आहे. प्रत्येक वेब ब्राउझर डेव्हलपर टूल देतो आणि त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला लॉग दिसतोय. Just a minute. Okay. So look here, it's our log. That means when we are debug a JavaScript, we are use a log. And most basic log is call by console, and it's a console.log method I call here, and it's a display the specific log regarding my JavaScript. Okay, so let's continue. So that's one way to integrate our JavaScript with our web page. So what's the another one way? So let's discuss the second way. For that second way, I'm just create one a file here, and that file name is my.js. Okay, that's my file. Within that file, I can write that's a log. That's this is my file. It's a simple JS. I'm right there, and that JS file I want to integrate with my HTML. So how it is possible? Let's check. To integrate that file with my HTML, I'm going to write uh, the script. It's before body closing. I write script, and it's a script src. That's my JS. Okay. So that's the second way to integrate your JS file with your web page. That's the second way. So you can use any one way to integrate JS file with your web page. So why we are using JavaScript? The JavaScript is lightweight. That's a scripting language because it's made for data handling at the browser level only. It's have a dynamic type. That means we doesn't need to set variable type. So typing, which means type of variable, are defined based on store values. It's a object-oriented programming language. JavaScript is an object-based scripting language that provides built-in objects like string, mat, date. It's have a function-oriented also that implies JavaScript uses functional approach. Even objects are created from the constructor functions, and each constructor function represent unique object type. The JavaScript is a platform independent. This implies that JavaScript is a platform independent. We can say it's a portable, which simply means that you can simply write and the script once and run it anywhere and anytime. JavaScript is a prototype based. So that means JavaScript uses prototypes instead of classes. In JavaScript, each constructor function is associated with a prototype object. JavaScript is interpreted language, which means the script written inside JavaScript is a process line by line. JavaScript is asynchronous. That means JavaScript perform complex processing asynchronously, which means that if some operation is taking time, JavaScript doesn't wait for it. JavaScript will let it execute and more on the other code statement to execute them. So the JavaScript is based on ECMA script standard. That means it's the standardization provided by ECMA scripts. The JavaScript, formerly known as LiveScript, was developed by Netscape and Sun Microsystems. It is also known as a ECMA script as it was standardized by European Computer Manufacturer Association. The most recent updates were the ECMA script 2023-24, which came at the beginning of last year. let's start the JavaScript. So when we are learn any programming language, we need to discuss the variable, right? The variable. Basically, JavaScript have a two types of variable, and that we can declare using var. It's a my variable. My variable is a variable name, and hello world, it's the content of this variable. And JavaScript is a dynamic type. That means whatever value you are assigned for that variable of that type. So currently variable is a string type. I printed my variable value. After that, the second variable, it's that's a let 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 x, and we are print that x. Look here, what is that let and x? When we want uh, limited scope, that scope that means that variable we can apply for a specific block, then we can use a let. Maximum time we are use a let within a function, and when we want a scope outside of function, then we can use a var keyword to declare variable. So that's the difference in between let and var. After that, the console.log statement I use to print that particular value of x in my variable. So it's printed on browser log, browser console. If you want to declare the constant variable, then you can use a const after that variable name and the variable value. After that, JavaScript have a number of literals. So literals, it's a comment. So within JavaScript, there are string literal that we can use a let my string. That's a string literal. After that, if you want to make a Boolean value, that means a let bool value, and it's a true and false. There are two values for Boolean, true and false. So that's a Boolean literal. If you want to make a number, then it's a numeric literal. It's a numeric literal. After that, if you want to make an array, then the array literal is there. If you want to make an object, then object literal is there. So that's the literal types from Java. So from JavaScript. So let's print it. Okay, it's printed. After that, JavaScript have a data types. After literals, JavaScript have a data types. So first one is a number data type is there. That means you can declare a number that let my num, and it's any value you can declare. So number is consider either decimal or either float values. Either decimal or either float values. Both are numbers. After that, it's a number data type. The Boolean data type is there. True already we are use false. Okay, that's a Boolean data type. After that, the array object type is there. That means you can declare array using a array, the square bracket, and within square bracket the elements of array. After that, the object type, uh, there are object type also available, that holding a name and value. Uh, okay, it's holding pair. The name is stand for key. After that, colon and Anirudh are stand for value. So that's the name and value. And if you have multiple pairs, then that pairs are separate by comma. So using that way, we can create object within our JavaScript. So it's a simple way to create object. Okay. So it's a object. After that, there are one another data type. That data type is a nullable. Nullable. That means to define a null value, we are use that data type. That's a nullable. Okay. After that, there are one another defined that data type is undef. That means undefined. That's undefined. And after that, I'm going to print uh, my type on console. Okay, it's printed. After that, the JavaScript have operators like general programming languages. So it's have operators and to perform operation on variables and values. So how we can use operators? So here we can discuss uh, first. We can discuss some operators here for demonstration. So operators. So result. Look here. I'm not use let and var. Then also I can declare a variable. That's addition and make addition. After that, it's a subtraction. The result of subtraction, the result of multiplication, the result of division. Okay, that's enough. So you are understand the operators are there, and using operators we can perform the arithmetic operation. Within a JavaScript, that double slash indicate it's a single comment, single line comment. But if you want to a multi-line comment, then you can use like Java. There are lots of similarity within JavaScript and Java. So it's a multi-line comment. Okay. After that, the JavaScript are holding, that means like general purpose programming language, we have decision making statement and control statement within a JavaScript. So let's see one example of decision making statement. Let I'm declare one variable. It's not capital. Let a equal to 10. Okay, we can get a. And after that, we are check if is greater than 0, then we can say it's positive. right? It's a positive number. Otherwise, in else, we can say in a else, we can say it's a negative number. And the else part, it is a 0. Look here, the simple if and else statement I'm use here. Within if, I check condition A is greater than 0. If it is done true, then I printed on console it's a positive. In alternate path, I use else if that A is less than 0, then it's a negative number. But we have 0 number also. That means if it is not positive, not negative, then of course it is a 0, right? So here I'm use a decision making statement that if, else if, and else. After that, JavaScript have switch statement also, switch case. For example, I can write let day. That's okay, Monday. And here I'm going to write a switch. It's a day. Day that's a case Monday. And on a console, I printed that day. If case Tuesday, that's Tuesday. And after that, after printing that 3 days, it's another day. So it's a simple switch case. It's a simple switch case. After switch case, JavaScript also holding the loops. So how many loops are there? There are for loop. That for we can write in that way for the iterating variable. And I want to iterate over one condition that I is less than 5. And after that, I increment that I. And on console, I want to print that iteration, which is a value held by I. So that's a for loop. After that, there are while loop also available. So how we can use a while loop? First, we need to declare counter for while loop. And after that condition, within a curly bracket, we need to write while body. So that's a while loop within a JavaScript. After that, do while loop also available there. That's do while loop execute only once. So that's why it's called exit point loop. So that's a do loop. And we know that's a do loop syntax. That's why I'm not explain that things here. So like a general purpose programming language, which we are learning within a JavaScript also have while loop, for loop, and do while loop within it. There are not have any for each loop. Okay, so before learn next thing, is any doubt there? Let's execute. So we already integrate that file with our Java with our HTML. So I just refresh it, and once I refresh it, it's a check console. Right click, inspect, and there are console. So it's a printing my all statements, which I write within console.log. Okay, so I'm going to share that a code with you, which we are right here. That's the code. And now, if you have any question, you can ask. Before a move, if you have any question, you can ask. That's we are learning today most basic things from JavaScript. Okay. Sushant are asking why we are use let and var. To declare a variable within a JavaScript, we have two keywords. One is a var and second one is a let. The scope of that variable when we are use a let, it's a limited. That means it's a limited within a block. So let we are used for within functions or blocks. And if you want to more scope than function or block, then we can use var. So var have a global scope within a JavaScript. So that's a let and var. But without let and var also, you can declare variable. It is also possible, but that's not good practice. The console.log, it is a log is a function. That function are printed on console. For debug your JavaScript application, we are use a console.log, and it's given output when our web page are execute. And here it's output. That's a console.log. Look here, every web browser have developer tools. That means we can debug our website or web page on particular that browser. It can be open. Some browser have options. That's like a developer tools, web developer tools. When you open that web developer tools, there are a number of tabs are there. That's useful to debug your application. Within that tab, the console tab is there. It is a possible to write your JavaScript here and test it, and to check output of your preloaded JavaScript. So whatever things we are write here, that's output are generated here. That's output. And if you want to check here, then also printed. Run. Look here, that's okay. Okay, that's also possible. So that's the most basic things from JavaScript. Is any question? It's not indicate, integrate. To integrate JavaScript into HTML, there are two ways. The first way, either you can write a script tag, and within a script tag, you write your JavaScript. Like here, I write a alert and log function. The second way, create a JavaScript in a different file, in an external file, and use that external file within your script tag, like line number 41. So here I use integrate my JS file with my index.html file using script tag. src is attribute. The absolute path is required, and after that closing that script tag. That script you always write before a closing body tag. Do not write any JavaScript within a head section. That's the older way. Do not write a JavaScript after body tag or after HTML. The all JavaScript you must be write within a body tag before close a body. So that's the way to integrate JavaScript with HTML. Yes, is any other question? because I want to show you that things without a let and were also we can use a variables. So that's why I'm not use let there. But I say that things that's not good practice. When you want to declare any variable, you should be use either let or either were. Do not use a variable without its a declaration with the keywords let and were. Is any other question? The same thing I repeat because I want to show you that things that without let and were keyword also you can declare a variable. So that's why I show there or declare their result. Is any other question? Sushant, before start DOM, you need to clear the basic concept. So today we will be clear the basic concepts from JavaScript. Is any other question? Okay, so we are so. So now you are understand that most basic concept of JavaScript. And now we are move to a function. So what is the function? Function is a block. That block we can useful reusable things. So here we can write one function. To write a function, we need one keyword. That keyword name is a function. That keyword name is a function. After keyword function, we can write the function name. So here I want to perform arithmetic operation. And that operation required some argument. So for that reason, I can write A and B. That's two argument. I'm right here. So it's an argument, right? So it's a let A, let B. Or you can directly write it without let keyword. Its scope is that scope is limited. Look here, what I write. I write one function with the parameters and return type. Okay. So here I create one function. That function Okay, so here we are create one function. That function is a multiply, and it's holding two parameters a and b, and it's a return value. So that's a function declaration. Now, how we can call a function? I want to call a function on a console. That's why I write console.log and call a function multiply the value. That's argument value. It's a 5 and 10. So it's a whatever return value are there, that return result are display on log console.log. So that's a function. So JavaScript, the console, it's very useful. That why it's useful. Let's see. Look here. I just write one variable var text, and that takes a string. JavaScript is awesome. That's a string. Okay. Every statement are end with a semicolon within a JavaScript. Within a semicolon, it's ended the statement. And now we are going to use string built-in functions. That built-in functions are useful to make manipulate a string. So that things I want to represent with the console. So console.log, I want to convert uppercase. After that, converted into lowercase. After that, console.log, I want to get length of that string. Console.log. I want to find index number, index of awesome. So it's a find that substring index. After that, the caret is there. So console.log, and it's a text dot caret. So that caret function return the specific character from that index. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we can get the specific character from index. After that, to check substring that contains or not, that substring is available or not, we can have a includes method. Okay, so it's a check the particular substring is exist or not. After that, we have a split method. It's a split string into array. After that, to make a concatenation, we have concat method. So console.log concatenation, console.log text dot concat, and I write one string to a concat. That's a let's learn. So that let's learn is a concat with a text using concat method. After that, there are replace method is there. That replace method replace first word into second. So it's a replace awesome to great. After that, we have mm, it is completed. Trim. So trim, it's remove white space. It's remove white space from both ends, from starting position and ending position. It's remove white space. So that's a string function, built-in function. Like string built-in function, there are a number built-in function also available. So we need to discuss that things also. So where it's a num from 45.23. Okay, that's a number. So let's see how many number functions are there. The first one is a two fixed. What is the two fixed? That's a round two decimal places. Suppose if uh, we are right like that. So it's around only two decimal places. So it's a printed till 23. It's a skip that 5. After that, suppose okay, two precision we can get. So what is that two precision? It's a format a specific length. It's a format to specific length. It's a format to a specific length. So it's a 4. We can say it's a 3. So it's a format to a specific length. After that, we are discussing numbers. Like a string, we have built-in functions for numbers also, and we are discussing that things. First one, I declare one variable. That variable is okay. That variable is a decimal point. After that, I want to format that decimal to two decimal places. So I can use a two fixed number, two fixed function. After that, we have two precision function. That's a format number to a three significant digits. After that, we have two string method. That's convert to number to a string. If you want to check that a particular number is an integer, then each integer function is there. It's a return Boolean value. Num dot. If you want to check the float, then I don't want to check infinite and exponent. Okay, I skip it. After that, if you want to convert string into float, then we have a parse function at num dot parse float. So it's a convert string into the float. So 1, 2, 3 dot 88. So it's a convert string into float. Okay. If you want to convert string into integer, Then it's a parse int method is there. So it's a convert the string into integer. After that, if you want to generate random number, then console.log num dot random. Random number is from math. So math dot random function is there. So it's you can generate the random number. Math is a library, and that library holding number of functions, but maximally use random. So it's useful to generate random number. So that's built-in functions for numbers, which are frequently used. Just those functions I elaborate here. After number, we have date. How we can declare a date? Suppose I want to declare today's date, current date. So it's a let current date, it's new date, and printed that date on a console. If you want to get full year, then there are function get full year is there. If you want to get ISO format date, then you have a console. Look here, console.log. I just use that to display the output to you. Otherwise, console.log is not useful to debug that only that few lines. Okay, to display only output, I just use console.log. Otherwise, console.log is not useful here. That console.log is useful for debugging purpose. If you want to debug some code, some lines, then we can use the console.log. But to show that output here, I'm use here console.log. What? ISO string, ISO formatted date. So current date. Okay, current date to ISO string. That's method is there. So it's display your date in ISO format. After that, if you want to display your date in local format, then to local date string method is there. If you want to display local time format, then the to time string method is there, but to time string method are not display a local format. So we can use to local time string. So that method are display the local time format. After that, it's manipulated date, right? If you want to get a particular month, that means get a month from today, then you can use console.log and what I want today's month. So it's a get current month method is there. So it's a get the current month. So it's have a that get current month is zero base index. So that's why I can make it's +1. So months are zero index. After that, to get a day of the month, we can use get date method. That useful for what? Day of the month. After that, if you want a get weekday, that means it's a started 0 index Sunday and 6 index. That's a 6 position on Saturday and 0 position is a Sunday. So 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 it's a get day. After that, if you want get time, that time in hours, minute and second, then there are method get hours, get minute, get second. It's a get minutes and next thing for seconds. After that, if you want to change year, then there are one method. That method is a console.log. That method name is a set full year. Set full year, and I want to set it's not 2020. I want to set it. So it's a change the year. Okay. After that, if you want to create a specific date, then it is also possible. That's create a specific date console.log, and I want to create a specific date. So new keyword is helpful to create allocate a memory. After that, date constructor, I write there that get constructor holding year, the month, and it's a 0 or indicate the first day from the month January. So it's a YYY DDMM format. After that, okay, that's enough. There are a number of things, but it's enough that date manipulation. So if I want to convert a date into that means suppose I have string and that string contain date and that string I want to convert into date, then how it is possible? So let date string and I have one date that's 0101 and now I want to convert that date into a new date. So I can use let parse date new date and that's a string. That string is a date string and it's return the converted date. It's a return converted date. If you want to print, you can use console.log file log method. So that's what date object. After that, if you want to convert date object to a string, then you can use a variable let date to string. It's a parse date. Parse date. Parse date. It's our object, and that object converted into two string. That's date object, and here we are store that string. Suppose you want Indian date format. What? Indian date format. Then you need to set it's a Indian date format. Then I can use to print that things I use a console dot log, and here I set Indian date format. That current date dot to local date string, that's English, and it's Indian English. Okay, so that's the way. That's the way for an Indian format. If you want a US format, that US format is a different. Then that's a US date format. Just you need to change uh, that language. English, US, English, Indian. So that's the way to manipulate a date. That's the way to manipulate date for custom date format. Okay, so that's a built-in functions we are used here. There are two types of functions. That's one is a built-in function. Second function is a custom user-defined function. So that user-defined function we are going to learn now. That's a function, and I'm going to share that things with you. So here we are learn the functions. Here we are learn the functions. Okay, is any question regarding function? Is any function question regarding function? Did you understand what's a function, how many types of functions, and how we can use it? Yes. There are question from unknown users, so we don't need to accept that function question. Is any question? Okay. So Yash, unknown user, I'm going to remove you. So Yash are asking one question that why we are use AI Copilot. Look here, whatever functions we are write here, maximum functions we are write first, and AI Copilot are assist us to use a different function, but we are not use that AI Copilot functions. And to write these things with the AI Copilot, it save our time. But before write that functions, I explain that functions to you. So unknown user, please remove yourself. Otherwise, you can make the rename yourself. I'm not accept any question from unknown user. And Yash, you must ask question to your own question. Do not tag for unknown user. The next time, if anyone are ask question, they must be asked with their name. We need to follow some etiquettes. That etiquette is what? When you are join a meeting, you can join the meeting with your first name, last name, and your institute initials. Nikita, please rename yourself. Tania, Sanjay Gund, Sanket. Look here, why it's required because of your attendance. Otherwise, it's hard to detect your join a meeting or not. So if you're not follow that naming convention, then it may be a absent you default. Everyone, please note that things before a join meeting, you must write your first name, last name, and your institute initials. Okay. Is any other questions? Yes, that's possible. Of course. So that's output. Hmm? Yes. Is any other questions? Arrow functions, that's the lambda you are asking. Okay, so we are going to make one simple anonymous function. According to request, what's his name? Riya. So now you are aware about that things, how we can create a function, right? Now it's an anonymous function. Let's declare one variable first. That variable is that variable name is greet. It's a simple thing, greet. Hmm. And we want to anonymous function. So function, and that function name is there. And within that function, we can return what we return, hello name. Okay, that's it. So that's a simple anonymous function we are use here. It's anonymous. it's anonymous function. And how we can call that anonymous function? To call that anonymous function, we can use console.log, because it's a return type and it's a greet. That's the function name. So that's the anonymous function. It is also possible that you can make that function with a different way. That means, look here, how I'm going to make that function. Const readme. Name we already use. Okay. So we can use message. My name, arrow, arrow, and after that curly bracket open and curly bracket close. Within that curly bracket, we are written is hello. We are used already, so we can say hi. Hi, and the console we are used to print that return statement. Return. So that's it. So that's the second way to use a function, to create a function. So we can say it's a lambda function, and that function is an anonymous function. So I hope the things are clear. The user defined function, within a user defined function, we are declare normal function, that's a return a value. Anonymous function, that means which function not have a name, that's called anonymous function. After that, the lambda function, that lambda function also called arrow function, but we can say it's a lambda function. That's lambda also we can write within JavaScript. So let's go through messages. Look here, that const is not mandatory for lambda functions. That means I can use let. That's not mandatory. That const is not mandatory there. I can use a var, but var are useful for older function scopes. And nowadays, maximally we are using let. But you can prefer const. Why it's prefer? It's a prevent accidental reassignments. That means once you are assigned that value, it's a fix. So it's a final. So that's why we can use const. That's given us immutable function. So that we are using a modern JS. That's why we are using const. Otherwise, you can use a were or let. That's your choice. What's the next question? Okay, what's the difference between anonymous and lambda? Within lambda, we are use arrow symbol, and within anonymous, we are not use arrow symbol. If you want to check, let's check it. That's a lambda, and that's sorry, that's a lambda, and that's anonymous. When we are write anonymous means what? Without name of function. So here we are write directly function keyword. That's accept one argument, and it's a written one string. It's written one string. After that, when we are write a lambda, we are use the variable that we need to pass as a parameter. After that, arrow function, arrow symbol, curly bracket, and within that curly bracket, we need to write that function logic. So here I just written the my name with the greetings. So that's the difference between anonymous function and lambda function. What means anonymous? When we have without naming function, that function called anonymous, but that function are declared without arrow symbols. But when we are using lambda, that means when we call the lambda, when we are create a function, that function also without name, but here we are use arrow symbol, and the syntax is totally different than anonymous. Then that function is a lambda function. And what is the lambda we are already discussed in a Java, right? Okay. So I hope you understand what is the difference between anonymous and lambda. After that, next question is from Sukanya. That what's the DTMM YYY format? For that reason, we are use one isolation. That's the what we are use EN India, where we are use that things. We need to check where we are use. Look here. When you are use to a local date, a string en hyphen in, then that's a string is ddmmyy format. When you are apply to a current date, that format. So it's a Indian date format. Yes. Any other question? Maybe we are write something wrong thing. Or our browser is not accepting that things, that line which we are right here. So let's correct. Let's correct it. How we can correct? So I can write, I can make some modification here. That each number, each integer, each float. That methods are from one class. That class name is a number. That class name is a number. So if I change here that class name, oh, it's not edited there. Okay, so it's from number class, number type. So It's from number type. But after that, it's showing a error here. That's also from number type. It will be show error here. That also from number type. So let's check is any other typo mistake are there, and then we can execute. To fix from number, to string is number, to precision number. Okay, math is random. Okay, done.
Light yang kita juga light ada macam ya selalu
Okay, so it's done, right? So it's a display uh, on console the appropriate functionality. So it's the indent date format, DDMMYYY. So is any other question? Of course, we need to check the string for Marathi. That means we need to use Unicode things that we can write. So for that reason, okay. You required to display in Marathi, right? So on web where we are displaying, okay, I just copy that content, huh? Marathi. But for Marathi, we need to change some options for like. We need to display some constant. That constant is what? Okay, let's check is it working or not. And if it is not working, then we can make that options. Yeah, it is working. So that's a newer way. At older time, we need to make some extra adjustment for any special language. So nowadays, it's working well. No need to write uh, s- that extra option, extra code. That's a simple way to represent in Marathi. Is any other question? Yes, of course. I'm going to share that all code with you on our chat box. Copy and paste it. Yes. Is any other question? At older time, that means 10 year ago, when I use Marathi for my within my some specific requirement. On that time, I use some lots of a code, that means uh, to represent in Marathi. But nowadays, it's easily converted into Marathi. Why we required extra code on that time? Because we want to customize that extra part like time, week, date. For that reason, we need to write some extra code. Okay, what's the question? Set year. Where it's set year. Set year. 2022. Okay, so it's a Unix format. So we need to change that format. But the Unix format is a different. So it's not Unix format. So what is it? Let's check where we have our code. Where it is here. So we required to set full year, right? Okay. So we are set for full year for current date. Okay. So that's a mistake. So let's set. Now I create one empty object. Now with that object, I can set here. Now check your output. Refresh. Okay. There is set here. Still, it's given a wrong output. So it's a display calendar year. Let's make its current calendar year. What value we have? 17705. What it's given? Okay, it's nearby. It's a nearby. So we just need to think why it's not showing 2025. Now let's check. Okay, now it's set 2030. If you want to extract that year, then we can use get year function. So initially it's set by directly console. That's a Unix date time values. So if you take that values, we need to write one conversion method. The Unix timestamp, it's use a number of seconds, or sometimes it's display milliseconds. Since January 1st, 1970. So that's why it's display the bunch of numbers. So just we are extract that things. We are not use any conversion. Just we are change how we can write method, how we can call a method. Just that things we are change and we are get our correct output. Is any other question? Let's check review code. If you have any other question, please ask me. Is any other question? So the alter code I just post here. That's only alteration. Yes, it's a sometime it's a say within a millisecond or second. That depends on architecture. And maximum number of architecture are used Unix. So the unique timestamp are declared there. There are number of seconds. or milliseconds. Sometimes it's a milliseconds. So we just avoid to use Unix timestamp. We are use modern timestamp, that's current date and time. So it's a just calendar year. So we are avoiding to use Unix timestamp. That represents seconds and milliseconds. Is any other question? Yes, students. Is any other question are there? Okay. So today we are learn the most basic things from JavaScript, and we are learn what's the variable, how to declare a variable, how to declare values to that variable, what is the literal types are there, what is the how many data types are there. We are learn how many built-in functions are there, how we can use that built-in function with date time format, with a number, with a string. We are learn how we can write a user defined function. That user defined function we are write a normal concrete function, the lambda function, and anonymous function. The lambda also called arrow function within a JavaScript. Please remember that things. So that things today we are learn. Tomorrow we are going to learn OOPS concept from JavaScript. That means how we can write that things. And tomorrow we can use some real time use cases. That means we can create one simple model which we are using HTML with a JavaScript. So that things you require to understand when you write any JavaScript. So it's the most basic fundamental from JavaScript. So if you are not have any question, then I'm going to take attendance. Please wait there. I'm going to take attendance. Okay. So students, did you have any other questions regarding today's code? Okay. So if you're not have any question, then I'm going to end this session here. So see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to learn the arrays and OOPS concept from JavaScript. And tomorrow we are write some meaningful code that's use a JavaScript within HTML. So thank you very much to attending today's class. See you tomorrow. So I'm going to end this session here. If you are not have any questions. There are one request that when you are join a meeting, you must join meeting with your first name, last name, and your institute's initials. Otherwise, it's hard to identify you. and I'm not going to entertain unknown person question. Yes, Samarth Kadam. What's your question? Yes, Samarth. What's your question? Samarth Kadam. Your raise hand. That's why I'm asking. Okay. Okay. Then see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we are going to learn next part from JS. Thank you very much to attending today's class. So I'm going to end this session here.